Please, please remain standing. Good afternoon. My name is Jim Pillen, Chairman of the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska. It is my great honor to welcome you here for the ceremony installing Admiral Ted Carter as the 8th President of the University of Nebraska. What is an investiture? An investiture is an academic tradition, an opportunity for the university community to come together and formally welcome a new leader. As importantly, in my mind, it's a great chance for all of us in the community to come together and celebrate what a vital role the University of Nebraska plays and celebrate the work of each of our campuses do on behalf of our students and the entire state. I'm grateful to the university events team who's worked tirelessly to help us put this investiture together in a safe and celebratory way. We also want to thank the Friends of Nebraska Education Telecommunications for live streaming this installation so that all Nebraskans can take part. There may be a chance that with the new times, there may be a chance this is the most well-attended investiture ever. Now, would you, gentlemen, would you please remove your hats, turn to the flag, and we will enjoy the playing of the national anthem of our Palladium Brass. Please be seated. The talents of our faculty never cease to amaze us. That was spectacular. And speaking of faculty, we'd be remiss if we didn't take a minute to thank and congratulate our faculty for all the incredible things they do and the work in this incredibly challenging time. Today, we join with Nebraskans in making a strong public statement of support for the university, our faculty, and our new leader. The University of Nebraska was founded in 1869, just 2 years after the founding of Nebraska becoming the 37th state of our nation. The mission of this new land-grant institute was, quote, to afford the inhabitants of this state with the means of acquiring a thorough knowledge of the various branches of literature, science, and the arts. That mission has stood the test of time. More than a century and a half after its founding, our university continues to serve Nebraskans through quality teaching, life-changing research, and engagement that touches absolutely every corner of the state. Put it more simply, the University of Nebraska transformed lives. It's transformed all of our lives on this stage. As Nebraska's only public university, we have a very special and a very specific responsibility and opportunity in this regard. We are really pleased that members of President Carter's family are able to be here today. President Carter's wife and teammate, true partner in leadership and public service through all these years. It's awesome that you're here, Linda, who's been with Ted every step of the way. Not sure you made it on all those missions out at sea, but in spirit you were there as well. And also their children, Christopher and Brittany. You being here and your support is immeasurable. I do want to say to Christopher and Brittany, I've gotten to know your father very well. He's an incredible man. He's an incredibly humble man. But there's one place he's not humble. When he talks about you two, he brags nonstop. He's incredibly proud of you and who you are. And to steal one of his phrases, you're his North Star. Let me also introduce the leadership team of the University of Nebraska, especially since Ted would say nobody is anything without team. No achievement takes place without a team effort. So let's start with my colleagues on the Board of Regents. First, Paul Kinney of Amherst, Vice Chair of the Board. Tim Clare of Lincoln. Howard Hawks of Omaha. Elizabeth O'Connor of Omaha. Rob Schaefer of Beatrice. Bob Ferries of North Platte. Barb Whites of Omaha. Special part of our regents is student regents Max Beal, student regent from the University of Nebraska Kearney, Ronnie Miller, student regent from the University of Nebraska Lincoln, Jabin Moore, student regent from the University of Nebraska at Omaha, and Tom Schroeder, student regent from the University of Nebraska Medical Center. The executive team that Ted works closely with each day. Chancellor Jeff Gold, University of Nebraska at Omaha and University of Nebraska Medical Center. Chancellor Ronnie Green, University of Nebraska Lincoln. Chancellor Doug Christensen, University of Nebraska at Kearney. Phil Bakken, Chief of Staff. Brett Blackman, Vice President for Information Technology and Chief Information Officer. Mike Boehm, Vice President and Harlan Vice Chancellor of Agriculture and Natural Resources. Susan Fritz, Executive Vice President and Provost. Mike Justice, Associate Vice President and Director of Internal Audit and Advisory Services. Chris Kaborik, Vice President for Business and Finance and Chief Financial Officer. Heath Mello, Vice President for External Relations. Stacia Palzer, Interim Corporate Secretary, and Jim Podorf, Vice President and General Counsel. We are also very honored to have Governor Ricketts here with us today. We will hear more from the governor shortly. Also want to thank the head marshal, Dr. Robert Gorman, a faculty member of the College of Arts and Science, and the team of marshals who have volunteered their time to make this occasion special. And lastly, to every student, faculty member, staff member, alumni, elected leaders, university friend, and all Nebraskans who are watching today, thank you for joining us, and thank you for all you do for your university. It is a tradition at the installation of a president that representatives of the university community offer words of welcome and support to our new leader. This is disrupted, but will take place. We are honored that a diverse group of students and faculty and staff and friends took time to record their well wishes for President Carter, and I invite you to watch the compilation of video greetings that our team has put together. On behalf of the Board of Regents, I would like to congratulate you, Ted, at your investiture as the 8th President of the University of Nebraska System. Your leadership is transformative, and I greatly appreciate your positive outlook. Thank you.
On behalf of UNK students, I want to congratulate you on your investiture, President Carter. Working with you over the past few months, I've really been impressed with your humility, your diligence, and your desire to serve the people in Nebraska. I especially appreciate your vision for UNK and our goal to serve rural communities across the state of Nebraska. Looking forward to working with you in the coming year, and once again, congratulations.
On behalf of all Husker students, welcome to Nebraska, President Carter. We are thankful for your servant leadership, especially during a year no one could have predicted. We look ahead to moving the university forward together.
Hello, President Carter. On behalf of more than 15,000 Maverick students, as UNO Student Body President and Student Regent, congratulations on your investiture as President of the University of Nebraska system. I can confidently say that each of us are excited for the future that you will help us create. Go Mavs!
President Carter, congratulations on all of the excellent work you've already done for the University of Nebraska system, and good luck with the investiture and all of the steps moving forward. You've already shown excellent leadership, and we look forward to your tenure as we move forward out of these multiple pandemics. Thanks again, and thank you for your dedication to evidence-based practice.
Congratulations on reaching this very special milestone, President Carter. To quote a 2016 op-ed that you penned for the Baltimore Sun, "Leadership takes practice, it takes repetition," unquote. On behalf of both the University of Nebraska at Omaha and the Med Center communities, thank you for your leadership during this pivotal moment in the university system's history. I look forward to years of continued growth, collaboration, and innovation.
Congratulations, President Carter, or as I've come to know you affectionately, Ted, on your investiture as the 8th President of the University of Nebraska system. The University of Nebraska-Lincoln, our state's flagship land-grant comprehensive research university, is committed to creating opportunity for Nebraskans. Your leadership will be so important in helping us to build on that commitment and to ensure brighter futures across Nebraska and beyond. I look forward to continuing to work with you on the journey ahead. Congratulations.
President Carter, congratulations. We couldn't be happier. And from the premier institution of the university system, on behalf of everybody at UNK, we are thrilled to have you in the system. We're part of the team, and we really enjoy you being the leader. So congratulations on your investiture, and the best is yet to come.
We woke up to the news of the tragic killing of George Floyd. Not very long after that, in a way that was quite surprising, Ted Carter posted a statement on his personal Twitter account where he expressed his outrage, his shock, and a deep, deep empathy and concern for a community that would have been disturbed and bothered by this situation. This came at a time when our university, like the rest of the world in fact, was dealing with this grand pandemic of COVID. I've watched from a distance as this new leader of our institution has, with calm, clarity, and clear decision-making, become a stable and guiding force for our university through what is no question a very difficult time. I welcome this kind of leadership. I welcome this kind of accountability, and I welcome this kind of moral and intellectual credibility that he represents. So it is my pleasure to welcome Ted Carter to this university, to welcome him to Nebraska, and to welcome the kinds of directions we will take as a university under his leadership.
Congratulations, President Carter. On behalf of the staff at the University of Nebraska, we want to thank you for the guidance you've provided these past few months, and we look forward to continuing to work with you as we continue to grow and make a difference in the state of Nebraska.
Hi, President Carter. This is Coach Frost. Congratulations on your investiture as the 8th President of the University of Nebraska. I'll be honest, I had to look up what the word investiture meant. You might want to get a smarter football coach. With all the challenges we're facing right now, with all the challenges that we're facing in the future, I have no doubt that you're the right guy to lead our university, our athletic department, and the state of Nebraska forward and get us to a special place in the future. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your leadership. Welcome to Nebraska, and go Big Red.
Congratulations on your investiture as President of the University of Nebraska. The faculty of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln look forward to working with you in delivering on our mission of providing a world-class quality education for all Huskers. We extend our best wishes for future success.
President Carter, on behalf of the faculty at UNMC, I want to welcome you to the University of Nebraska. It goes without saying that you are taking over as president at a time of unprecedented challenges. With your background and experience, I believe you are the right person in the right place at the right time to serve in this role. As a fellow transplant to Nebraska, I also believe you will find there is no better place to call home. Again, the faculty at UNMC wish you all the best in your tenure as president.
It is an honor to be part of this important event. On behalf of UNK faculty, we would like to say thank you for your leadership, your support of UNK, and your support of shared governance. Congratulations.
Hello, President Carter. You certainly picked an exciting time to be part of the University of Nebraska system. But as your life's work has demonstrated, exciting and difficult challenges are best managed with courage. So perhaps it's no coincidence that Fortuna Favit Fortibus is a motto with which you have great familiarity. On behalf of the Faculty Senate and the faculty we represent from the Omaha campus, welcome, thank you, and congratulations.
I am honored to be here today representing the Presidential Search Advisory Committee as we celebrate the investiture of Ted Carter as the 8th President of the University of Nebraska. Over a period of 3 months, this committee of university faculty, staff, and students, members of the Board of Regents, and leaders from the Nebraska business and philanthropic communities worked diligently to screen a robust group of candidates for a person who could lead the entire University of Nebraska and serve the state of Nebraska. In the end, the committee unanimously supported Ted Carter as the priority candidate for this position. We have already seen tangible benefits of Ted's leadership and character as we move forward in these unprecedented times. Congratulations, Ted.
President Carter, on behalf of the University of Nebraska Foundation Board of Directors, our trustees across the globe, all of our staff, and the more than 50,000 donors who help us each and every year, we welcome you as President of the University of Nebraska. We look forward to partnering with you to realize your vision for an even greater university for our state and our citizens. Congratulations.
Hi, Ted. On behalf of the Nebraska Alumni Association, I want to welcome you and Mrs. Carter to Nebraska and congratulate you both for your taking the job of President of the University of Nebraska system. I know of your integrity, your character, your leadership, Ted, and I know what kind of job we all do that you're going to do for the state of Nebraska and for the University of Nebraska system. We want to congratulate you again and let you know that we're here to help and support you in every way.
On behalf of the state of Nebraska and the Nebraska legislature, congratulations, President Carter. I look forward to working with you in the future, and I think you're the right stuff. Welcome aboard.
Ted, President Carter, as a Nebraskan, an alumnus, and someone who's had some experience working at the University of Nebraska, I want to welcome you to the state and to your role as president at this outstanding institution. You and I had a chance to get to know each other a bit when you were at the Naval Academy, and I was impressed then, and I was delighted to learn that you'd be coming to Nebraska. I've watched your first steps from afar, and it has confirmed for me that the Board of Regents made the right choice. This is a challenging time for higher education. Nothing will ever be the same as it was before 2020. We've all learned a great deal that we can build on, and those institutions that are most successful will be those who have leaders with vision, integrity, and wisdom. And you bring all of these things to your new role. On behalf of your colleagues from across the country, we wish you the very best, and we look forward to your leadership at the University of Nebraska, needed now more than ever.
Thank you to all those who offered the kind words. I know it means a great deal to Ted and Linda. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker this afternoon, Governor Ricketts. Governor has set a very clear goal for our state. Two simple words, but two powerful words: grow Nebraska. What we love about this goal, Governor, it's very clear, and it's a vital role for higher education to play a role, and for the university in particular. We are proud to contribute to your growth agenda through education, research, and workforce development. I know that President Carter has really enjoyed getting to know you, work with you, develop your friendship and a trusting partnership. We know we have great days ahead together. Please come forward. We turn the podium over to you. Thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you very much, Jim. President Carter, Linda, welcome to Nebraska. We're very excited to have you here. Christopher, Brittany, glad you could make it today too as well. We're very excited to have you here. The good news is you have picked the best place in the world to come. Nebraska, there's no place like it, right? And the reason Nebraska is so great is because of our people. Nebraskans are kind and compassionate, care about each other. We certainly saw this last year when we had the most widespread flooding our state's ever experienced, and how many Nebraskans stepped up to help their neighbors. We saw it again this year as Nebraskans sacrificed to slow the spread of the coronavirus here in our state. We see it in our everyday heroes. Heroes like Terry Ingram, who was out taking pictures of eagles by Bellevue, Nebraska last January when a car overturned into an icy pond and 3 men were trapped inside. He rushed into those cold waters to rescue those 3 men. Or Lincoln police officer Austin Espinoza, who ran onto a dark interstate after a man jumped off an overpass right here in Lincoln. And with only his flashlight, he put himself in between that man lying in the interstate to warn off traffic until help could arrive. Nebraskans are involved in their communities, their schools, their places of worship. They treat each other with dignity and respect. We work hard. In fact, Nebraska has the highest workforce participation rate in the country, the highest employment per capita ratio as well. We love our families. We've got one of the highest birth rates in the country. That goes to the quality of life here we have in our state. And of course, Lincoln and Omaha are consistently at the top of the list of best place to live on national rankings. Some people call us flyover territory or the middle of nowhere. In fact, we're the center of everything. Nebraska is what America is supposed to be. So you found a great place to come. That's the good news. Bad news: you did it in the middle of the pandemic. I'm sure you know about it. It's been in all the papers. We're all sitting up here masked, spread out. There's nobody in the audience except your kids. So it's a difficult time. And I'm sorry that this ceremony is being interrupted. You know, Scott Frost said, "What is an investiture?" I just put that into the Google machine, and that knows everything. And it said, it's a ceremony to confer rank or honor upon an individual. And so we're here today to confer the rank and honor of the 8th president of the university on you. And it should be a big deal. It's a milestone step in your career to become a Big Ten president. It's a huge opportunity for you to have an impact on so many young lives. And it's a big deal for Nebraska. The University of Nebraska is an integral part of our culture. It's part of who we are as Nebraskans. We all grow up with it. When I was a little boy, every little boy I knew grew up wishing they could play for the University of Nebraska. It was just part of who we are. And this ceremony is being modified because of the pandemic. And that, in a way, is a shame, because ceremonies are important. Universities do ceremonies right. So do the military. It's a way for us, especially in these divisive times, to come together and celebrate the organizations and the institutions that bring us together. It strengthens those bonds of our civil society. It reminds us that we have far more in common that divides us or separates us. Ceremonies are important, and this one's being modified. But in a way, that's representative too of the times. The students here have had their college careers disrupted. Classes that have been changed. Football games not scheduled. Graduations delayed. So maybe it creates a little empathy for all of us to what the students here and across the state are going through. So as we look toward the future, we think about the great state Nebraska is, and now who is the man that Nebraska is getting? We got to know a little bit about Walter Ted Carter Jr. as he started doing his tour around the state. One of the things we found out is that he wasn't that good of a student at the Naval Academy, and that's probably a good thing too, because not every student at the University of Nebraska is going to be an A student. Again, empathy. And one of the things that may not have gotten out about him is he wasn't a particularly good hockey player either, at least not at first. As he joined the Naval Academy's hockey team, he got the nickname Slapshot, because apparently when you would shoot the puck, it would kind of go wildly all over the place. And in fact, my understanding is that it was so bad that you got benched and were told that unless you kept that stick below your knees, you were never going to play hockey again. Apparently that's a true story. He just gave me a thumbs up. But President Carter persevered through that and became team captain of the hockey team. He did go on to graduate from the Naval Academy and then went to the U.S. Navy Fighter Weapons School, commonly known as Top Gun. Now, for those of you who remember the movie from the 80s, Top Gun, that's where the best of the best go. And in fact, while he was there, President Carter was assigned the very important task, this is the high-level national security kind of stuff, of escorting Tom Cruise around campus when he was filming the movie Top Gun there. Is that right? That's right, yeah, so Tom Cruise was there. Now, I noticed that they're making a new Top Gun movie. It was supposed to come out in June, didn't come out. Tom Cruise is in it again. I noticed he looks a lot like he did back in 1985. Yeah, but if you're getting comfort out of this, his rank was only captain. In 35 years, he'd only made captain, whereas you made, 3-star admiral. So you've done a lot better in the career category. Though his nickname, I understand that you're not too unhappy that the most famous graduate of that Top Gun program is not you, but a fictional character by the name of Maverick. And while I heard that, I also heard the rumor that you were actually lobbying to change the UNL mascot from the Mavericks to the Slapshots, which was your call sign. So, good deal. Top Gun. We have someone here who's been to Top Gun. That's cool. We have a man who's lived a life of service. Somebody who spent 38 years in the Navy, protecting our nation and defending our freedoms. And as I have gotten to know President Carter, I have seen in him the traits that will serve him well as president of the University of Nebraska. He's a decisive leader. As the pandemic came down upon us, he quickly decided to move students out of classrooms to protect their health. And then just as quickly, sent the message to the university and the entire nation, I think probably the first major university to do this, to say we will be back in the fall, and we will make plans to have students back. And so everybody get on board. This is what we're doing. That's leadership. He's also a strategic thinker. In fact, started thinking about the strategy for where to take the University of Nebraska and how to get to that next level, even before he came on board. He's got a 5-point plan. Talks about making it affordable and accessible for students. Making sure it focuses on workforce development so that our young leaders have the skills they need to take our state into the future. Culture, because culture drives everything. Partnerships, leveraging the alumni. And efficiency and effectiveness to make sure that you cut through that red tape and do an even better job of providing the important services you do. He supported the strategic initiatives like the NEXT project. And I look forward to continuing to work with you as you lay out that strategic plan, which I believe we're going to hear a little bit more about later today. He's also a man that cares about people and wants to create opportunity. We've seen that with the tuition freeze, the Nebraska Promise, to make sure that Nebraskans from all walks of life have that opportunity to get that quality education. His support for our career scholarships, which we passed in this year's budget, to be able to, again, to make sure that education is affordable here in the state of Nebraska. Yes, we have a top 10 leader here, a Top Gun leader. Sorry, I screwed up that line. It's supposed to be Top Gun leader. We have a Top Gun leader here. And that's great. Now, I understand that from the movie Top Gun, one of your favorite lines is there's no points for second place. And guess what? We believe that here in Nebraska as well. Nebraskans believe in winning, and we expect excellence. And you see that again at the University of Nebraska. Whether you're talking about the IXL Center or the Biocontainment Unit, which has become so important as we have fought this pandemic, or the Water for Food Institute, about how we feed the people of the world, the YIDER Institute, with regard to trade and how important it is for Nebraska, Innovation Campus, creating innovative places for companies to grow, or the National Strategic Research Institute, looking for ways to defend our country better. And we expect it in sports, championships in volleyball, bowling, debate, and in the past, football, and we're expecting to have that again under the leadership of Coach Frost. In fact, I think you told me last night that we've got more sports championships than any other of the Big Ten teams. Is that right? Nebraska expects excellence. You're coming to a Top Gun university. And so we're getting a Top Gun leader at a Top Gun university that will help us put together that strategy for how to take the university to the next level, to prepare our young people to lead this state going forward, to help grow Nebraska, Jim, to make sure that we continue to have the best place in the world right here in Nebraska. So again, President Carter, congratulations on your investiture. We're so excited and pleased to have you here. And Linda, we're so pleased and excited to have you here and join us as well. Thank you for your service to our country. God bless you for your work, and God bless the great state of Nebraska. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Ricketts. It is somewhat fitting today that today's ceremony represents uncharted waters, Ted, for all of us and for the University of Nebraska. Needless to say, 2020 is unlike anything for all of us and for the university. For you to take a new job in a new state, just as an unprecedented global crisis was hitting, could be a daunting challenge for most. But throughout this period, Ted Carter has led with a mixture of grace, peace, joy, calm, wisdom, incredible confidence, and unwavering optimism. He is the right person for this moment, and he's the right leader for our future. When all of us first met Ted, it was very obvious to all of us he was very special. His achievements in the Naval War College and the Naval Academy stood out. There's so many things. But what really came through were things that are so dear to Nebraskans. Ted's leadership at the past was just like at Nebraska, all about student access and success, diversity and inclusion, teaching excellence, strong partnerships with elected and philanthropic leaders. And be all that, Ted's demeanor, his presence, it was obvious to everyone he's the perfect fit for Nebraska. He talked about his value of finding common ground and moving forward together. He spoke of the great diversity of Nebraska's people and the role that the university president can play in bringing all together. He took every answer back to our 51,000 students. Ted understood right away that at Nebraska, students come first in everything we do. Ted lives by something very simple: every day matters. Every day is a new chance to be successful, to serve students, to grow our state, Governor, and as Ted would say, to get things done. In 7 short months, Ted's taken a series of steps for Nebraska that will be transformative. He created the Nebraska Promise to open doors for lower and middle-income Nebraskans. He froze tuition for 2 years when no one had the courage to do that. He has acted decisively without fear of imperfect information. Think about that. He has acted decisively without fear of having imperfect information. We call it Action for Nebraskans, and he's just getting started. Today, we have the opportunity to hear from President Carter's vision for the future, a bold strategy for growth and success that he will lead us to new heights. We're going to get things done the Nebraska way: hard work, common sense, and an abiding belief that we can make tomorrow better than today. Ted, at this time of great opportunity and challenge for higher education, we're really fortunate to have you here as our leader. The future for Nebraska is incredibly bright. Could you please come up and join me at the podium? So, President Carter, by the powers vested in me by the Board of Regents, with the support of faculty, staff, students, alumni, friends of the university, with the presence of your family and other friends, Nebraskans across the state, it's an incredible privilege and pleasure to install you right now as the 8th president of the University of Nebraska. As a token of the power and privileges and authority and responsibility of your position, I now bestow upon you the official medallion of the office. In accepting this medallion, you receive the powers and privileges and obligations, along with the challenges and the joys of the office. You have a collective best wishes and our highest hopes, my personal regards and appreciation and unwavering support. Congratulations, President Carter. It's time now for everybody to hear from President Carter. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon to Nebraskans, our faculty, staff, our 51,000 students, and our friends from all over the country. Tens of thousands who are probably watching today through a virtual ceremony that's being held here at the Lead Center, a world-class performing arts center right here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Regent Jim Pillen, our chair, along with our other 7 publicly elected regents across representing the entire state of Nebraska, our 4 student regents, I want to say thank you for the trust and confidence that you have put in me in bringing me to this day. I can honestly say that in all that Lynn and I have had a chance to experience in our life, 38 years in the Navy, years at the Naval Academy, this is the pinnacle of my professional career. Governor Ricketts, that was an awesome speech. You did some research, and I won't deny most of those things. Yes, I was not the best student at my first years at the Naval Academy, and yes, it took me a few years to get a little bit better on my skates and hockey, but our relationship has gotten off to such a great start. It's a privilege and a joy to work for somebody that is tireless as you in leading the great state of Nebraska. To our faculty and staff at Varner Hall, I want to say thank you. We truly do have an A team. Many of them have a great hand in putting this ceremony together, and I'm looking forward to working with them as we go forward. To our leadership on our campuses, 4 distinct campuses, University of Nebraska at Omaha and the University of Nebraska Medical Center, Chancellor Jeff Gold. Our flagship institution, the University of Nebraska at Lincoln, Chancellor Ronnie Green. In our rural campus out at the University of Nebraska at Kearney, Chancellor Doug Christensen. Again, I can't imagine working with a better team of professionals. It is so exciting to get to know you and be with you. We have so much that we've already done, and we're really just getting started. And of course, for my family, my wife Linda, we've been everywhere, done everything together over 38 years. We've moved 20 times, about to move our 21st time to come here and become permanent residents of Nebraska. Our new adventures are just beginning. And as Regent Jim Pillen and the governor mentioned, our son Christopher and our daughter Brittany, I just could not be more proud of the amazing professional adults that they've become so quickly in their lives. As I think about what I want to talk about here in my first day to be shown publicly as the 8th University of Nebraska president, I really want to be able to talk about where we're going forward. But before we do that, we do have to take a step back and take a moment to look at just what's happened here just in the last 5 months. All of us are feeling it. The governor covered it very, very well. Yes, I have read about that in the newspapers, and it is a unique time. We've all seen overseas education canceled. We've had to move classes to online classes. We've seen special events canceled, graduations go virtual, performing arts here at the Lead Center, and yes, even athletics, all be put on pause for what's happened. But as we came here and we knew that we would write a strategy for where we would go forward here at the University of Nebraska, we knew that the challenges would be there. We just didn't know they would be as dynamic. We didn't know that they would be world history making, a time like nobody's ever seen before. So as I think about where we are today and the strategy that we just officially unveiled with our Board of Regents meeting today, it strikes me that we've taken, some tough hits. It's a tough time. But I also know that as I've become a member, a Nebraskan myself, the people in Nebraska, as the governor did such an eloquent job of describing, they are unique. This is the only legislative body in the country that operates with a single body, a unicameral. Nebraskans are straightforward, they're honest, they operate with integrity. They're the hardest working people I've ever seen. They're resilient, they're humble, and they're unapologetic for who they are. They have passion, they love their Husker athletics, and I can say this with all assurity, that we operate as a single team in this state. When it comes to just about everything that I have seen and that we do, even the strategy that I'm about to talk about, we are unified from the governor to the legislation, to the president, to the chancellors, to the faculty senates, to our coaches, and to our students. It's rather unique. And I couldn't be more excited to be here. So to build a plan and to think how we will move this university forward, I guess I'd have to first talk about what is a strategy, what is a plan? And maybe we need to invoke that great philosopher, a sports athlete like nobody's ever seen before, the great boxer Mike Tyson. He's being interviewed one time and they were talking about, all the different strategies and the plans about how other boxers would try to beat him, move around, move laterally. Mike Tyson said simply, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And yeah, maybe we've been punched in the mouth, but now we got to know what to do about it. And how are we going to move forward? And today I'm thinking back to some of the words that were bred in me going into my first fighter squadrons, where we saw a lot of diversity, not just through the Cold War, but through other combat actions. And I think back to those men who fought for our freedom in World War II. In many of those ready rooms, they had these words: fly, fight, win. And as I think about where we are today, I'd like to take some of those words, maybe change them a little bit. I use some of these words in helping even educate and grow our midshipmen at the Naval Academy as they were graduating. And it's lead, fight, win. And this strategy that we've put together sits very nicely under those 3 action words, having a bias for action. So what do those look like? What might they mean for the University of Nebraska and our great state of Nebraska? Well, leading is very simple. First of all, it's defining who we are. We've talked a little bit about who Nebraskans are, what their reputation is, and really it is one of the greatest assets of this state. But it's also understanding how we lead, not just by example, but how we empower those that have the hard decisions in front of them, how we resource them to make those decisions, and how we work collaboratively and as a team. And that is the leadership style that I have seen here. It's a leadership style that I've grown up with. It's the leadership style that we'll continue with. In fighting, I thought the governor also did a great job of talking about some of the history, not just here in athletics, how we like the spirit of competition, how we like to fight for who we are, fight for the values that we believe in. And in this strategy, the fight means fighting for our students. They are truly our most important asset. They're our future. But we also fight for our faculty and staff, and we fight for having all voices heard at the University of Nebraska. And then winning. And I agree, Governor, Nebraskans like to win, and they have a great history of it. From the very first days of founding this great state as a Nebraska territory to our 37th state, becoming one of the premier land-grant universities here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln 151 years ago, to having some of the premier athletic programs. Nebraskans know and like to win. But winning in this strategy is how we make our students successful, how we do the right level of research to make a difference, and how we move our world-renowned faculty and staff and let them develop. So lead, fight, and win. In this strategy, as the governor pointed out on the 5 points, I'm going to try to trim those down and talk to them maybe in a little more detail and kind of put them in 3 bins. But at the end of the day, if you're to take this strategy and roll it all up and say, what does it do? How does it react to that punch in the mouth? It's intended to do a couple of very simple things. And as the governor said, we want to grow the state of Nebraska, a state that, as Regent Claire said this morning, had about 1.3 million people 100 years ago, and today is about 1.9 million people. Not a significant change in growth. And yet, in a state that has almost 500 miles wide by 200 miles north to south, more miles of river than any state in the country, 90% of the state is farmland, agriculture, and ranching. This is a state that is primed and ready to grow. And I want to do that through the University of Nebraska. 51,000 students strong today. We graduate well over 11,000 undergraduate, graduate, and PhDs a year. And because of our importance, because of our values of affordability and accessibility, we have the opportunity to grow. And not just grow our student body, but to grow them to be successful and move here and live here in Nebraska and go to work here in Nebraska. So as the University of Nebraska goes, so can the state. Now make no mistake, this state runs on agriculture. $1 in $4 in this state is agriculture. But we are a powerful engine that supports that helps educate into that field. And how goes the University of Nebraska, so goes agriculture in the state. So our first priority as we look to grow the state and make a difference is to take care of our students. You've already heard about Nebraska Promise, the freezing of tuition, attracting the best Nebraskans. Of all the Nebraskans that go to college, about 80% of them attend the University of Nebraska system colleges. We've done other things. We've looked at our academic calendar to improve and make it more easy for our students to look for better pathways to graduation. The 5-year strategy we announced today, we adopted a new idea for a 4-year graduation guarantee. Any student that comes to the University of Nebraska who follows our outline, regardless of what happens to them with any type of administrative hangups for their courseware to get to 120 credit hours in an undergraduate graduation, will cover the cost if they can't make it under 4 years. We're looking for additional pathways for students to come from community college, to come from other colleges, from transfers, as well as looking for our students to have other manners to get to us, whether it be from private college, adult learners. There are over 200,000 adult learners from 25 to 35 years old in the state of Nebraska who have partial college credits, 33 million across the country. And as good as we are at attracting Nebraskans to our university system, if we're going to truly grow, and the outlook for high school graduates going over the next decade here in Nebraska and across the entire United States is not as rosy as we'd like it to be. We're going to look outside the state as well. Today in the Board of Regents, we also announced a special program to have out-of-state students take a good look at the University of Nebraska. A new scholarship program where we will offer you a tuition rate that you cannot match in any other university system where you might attend out of state. This is to complement the legacy program for the sons and daughters and grandchildren of University of Nebraska graduates. This is a program to attract out-of-state students to come here, take advantage of internships that we will create, working with our business community for Nebraskans and these out-of-state students to go into the workforce after a guaranteed 4-year graduation rate. I would ask any family, any young person in the country who's thinking about attending a well-known university at a $50,000 tuition rate, take a look at the University of Nebraska. Under this program, you could attend our school every year for 1/5 of that cost. And we'll find you a job here, and you will love living here because Nebraska is truly a great place to be. And we're going to make sure that we take a look at how we take care of our people. It's easy to say people are our greatest resource, but we have to mean it. Our faculty and staff are some of the best in the country. It's a complex set of faculty. Some of them are terrific at bringing in research dollars. Every one of our campuses have had record years in research dollars, bringing new programs here. But yet at 2 of our campuses that are not unionized, our flagship at University of Nebraska-Lincoln and our world-renowned University of Nebraska Medical Center, our faculty make about 4% less than their peers. I promised today that we would hold all hiring on non-faculty positions across the entire university system till we correct that. It might take us a couple of years to get there, but we're going to fix that. We're going to continue to listen to all voices. I want our faculty and staff to represent the growing diversity of students that are coming to our campuses, the rise in first-generation students that are coming to our campus. We have more work to do there. And we'll look at pay and equity gaps across the entire spectrum of the enterprise. And we will continue to survey our faculty, staff, and students and take action on what they tell us, because the climate of where we are, we want to be the best place to work, not only in the University of Nebraska, but across all of higher education. And yes, we do want to engage our 375,000 living alumni. It's a tremendous population, a tremendous power, working with our University of Nebraska Foundation and our Alumni Association. And this isn't just about how we bring them to get excited about maybe donating. This is about how they can lift our voices, lift our reputation, and be proud of the University of Nebraska from which they came. And finally, Governor, I'm taking a page out of one of your playbooks as we think about how we're going to be more efficient and effective as a university. We're going to create a red tape initiative. We're going to get leaner. We're going to get smarter. We're going to be very careful how we spend the precious tax dollars that this state gives us. Nebraskans have an awful lot of common sense. You don't spend money that you don't have, and we will continue to be fiscally conservative at the University of Nebraska. We've launched a number of initiatives in this strategy today to look at our infrastructure. University of Nebraska owns 70% of the entire state's building infrastructure. It's a huge labyrinth of buildings, many of them older than 50 years. Today we announced a program to invest $2 billion over the next 30 years to get those buildings back in line and make them the gold standard for which we should have at the university. And we'll look at our capital projects. We won't stop building, but we'll keep a clear eye on the new buildings that we put up. And when we do put up a new building, such as our engineering building, we'll have the maintenance plan to go with it so it can last its full lifespan. And we're going to take a look at our environmental footprint. And we're going to look internally to ourselves first. Clean energy, low carbon footprint. We need to be good stewards of the environment. And we'll look at even how we invest. So these are just some of the highlights of the strategy that we have going forward. And as you can tell, with the team that I have assembled behind me, all of us have a bias for action. We've written this document so that it's flexible, dynamic, can change, can move with the punches, and we'll measure ourselves, and we'll give ourselves honest feedback, and we'll make adjustments. So at the end, if we lead, fight, and win, we will make a positive change for Nebraska. We will grow our student body. We will make them successful, and we look forward to them going to work here in the state of Nebraska. You know, last night I had a chance to be with the governor for dinner, and as he has highlighted my military career, what a lot of folks, especially those that are not from Nebraska, may not know is because of the large amount of rivers and lakes, more than any miles of river in any state in the country, as a state that's 3 times landlocked, the only state like that in the country. In 1930, the governor who was on vacation, his lieutenant governor actually created a Nebraska Navy. And with that, he appointed some people as honorary Nebraska admirals. And consequently, Nebraska has the most amount of admirals per capita of any state in the country. And last night, Governor Ricketts made me a Nebraska admiral. And I'm pretty proud of that. He surprised me with that. So I thought I would finish off with maybe how this strategy fits, maybe with a little bit of a nautical theme now that I get to continue to be a Nebraska admiral. In 1777, a fledgling young 27-year-old captain, an immigrant from Scotland, walked the streets of New England looking to recruit sailors to go to battle for our fledgling Navy. He had an amazing statement as he recruited those young men. The stature of our homeland is no more than the measure of ourselves. The stature of our homeland is no more than the measure of ourselves. Could any statement that goes back to the beginning of our country push forward to a time that, as the governor mentioned, is a time where we're more divisive and confused, and maybe we just need to look at ourselves in the mirror and realize that we're a part of the solution. When Captain John Paul Jones, arguably the father of our Navy, got people to go into those ships and go to sea in a very tough business, he said, "Sign on, come to the sea, come sail with me." This strategy is designed similarly. It says, come to Nebraska, sign on, come learn, come grow, come live, come work, and win with us. God bless the University of Nebraska system. God bless the great state of Nebraska. And go Lopers, go Mavericks, and go Big Red.
Thank you, President Carter. Your words inspire us, and the future is incredibly bright. Thank you again to Governor Ricketts for being here and being our guest speaker. To be able to pull something out from years back, you did a lot of digging. You did good, Pete. That was awesome. You got a good team. I would like to also say to my colleagues, your work, job well done. It was quite a process, and our future is incredibly bright. And would like to also thank everybody on the Presidential Advisory Committee. There was a lot of work for all of their time. We will, this now concludes our program this afternoon. Thank you. Now will the platform party please rise? And our university marshals, we begin with the playing of the recessional. Thank you.